Welcome into the Paul Farrington Show. Paul Farrington joined alongside Jack Weinberger, Robert Ziggy Ziegler at the University of Virginia, and Zach Bloomquist, the best executive producer in the game, is back. Clapping for Zach. He almost sent us live. Back. Yeah, he almost sent us live immediately.
I wouldn't have
forgot how to do it.
I wouldn't have
Actually, did you hear? I was a little bit like confused there off the start of the show. With my own name. I was like, welcome into it's Paul Farrington.
That happens.
My name's Paul.
It happens.
Yeah, but we haven't had the four of us in a while, but here we are. It's nice to have everybody back.
It's Fierce and Foursome.
Fierce and Foursome, yes. Yes, it is. And Ziggy, happy birthday. Today's episode.
Ziggy, happy birthday.
March 26th.
I appreciate it.
What are you, 19? 20?
I mean, Ziggy's looking good today.
Old enough to be eligible. That's all you got.
So, yes, it's Ziggy's birthday today. So for everyone in the comment section, wish Ziggy a very happy birthday. And any big birthday plans, Ziggy?
It's my parents were in town last weekend, so we had a nice time. They couldn't make it out for my actual birthday, but my actual birthday plans are teaching, grading, and then some teaching.
I mean, that's what you love to do.
Have a beer after all that.
We'll see.
Sit back, enjoy. I mean, Jack, look, we're recording this before the episode, but Jack is ready. Jack made us record early to watch The Bachelor tonight. You're very invested from what I've heard.
This entire season. This one girl, Daisy, I love her. Hopefully she gets picked.
This won't come to a surprise to any longtime fan. Jack, it's very obvious.
I'm a huge Bachelor guy. And this is a good season. It's been a great season. I love this girl. I followed her on Instagram the other day. I think she's super sweet. And hopefully when this recording comes out, Daisy would have won.
Well, actually, no. You don't want Daisy to win. You want Daisy on the open market.
No, I want to see her happy. I want to see her happy.
Oh man, that's nice. That's beautiful.
Jack couldn't make her happy.
I said episode 1 when there were like 30. There were 30 girls. I'm like, Daisy's winning this whole thing.
I've only got involved in 1 or 2 seasons of The Bachelor, and look, when I got sucked in pretty good. But now,
do you like being sucked in?
Thank God. Yeah, I heard it when I said it. We all heard it when I said it. Ziggy, it's got to be 1 in a million that you're watching The Bachelor season finale.
I've seen 1 episode of Love Island, and that is as far as I've gone on any of these shows.
Would I be a good Bachelor, Ziggy?
No.
You don't think so? What do you think?
Absolutely not.
Before we get into it today, and we have a really fun show. We're talking about guys who's bullshitting, basically. It's the theme of today's show. Jim Harbaugh's talking about JJ McCarthy. Jerod Mayo's talking about the 3rd pick for the Patriots. Brian Daboll came out with some things said about Daniel Jones. And then a mailbag a little bit later on. But this is a question I've asked multiple times. If you could pay, what's the most amount of money you would pay to be able to pick who would go on The Bachelor? Like, Jack, to see you on The Bachelor, seriously, I think I'd pay like $10,000 for a full season of Jack on The Bachelor. I think I would get $10,000 worth of enjoyment of watching Jack just be an absolute lunatic.
Yeah,
on television.
If I could pick anybody, I'd probably pay $5-6 grand.
$5-6 grand.
Yeah, $5 or $6 grand.
And would you pick potentially of the 3 of us here? It's gotta be.
I don't know if anyone of you 3 would be my pick, but if it was, I'd pick Ziggy.
I mean, Ziggy on The Bachelor is just.
I mean, look, if the fans want to do it, if they donate enough money to us, we could get a Paul Farrington Show Bachelor edition going.
Oh my
bring
God.
In a bunch of Packers fans.
Incredible, Ziggy. Oh, yeah, please.
Yeah, I guess that's fair enough.
That'd be down.
I mean, how many fans out there that want to write a check for about $100,000?
A like goal?
A like goal.
Okay.
A like goal. I think if this video can get, what?
We're looking at
250,000 likes?
250,000 likes.
Sorry.
we got like max like 25,000 views on most videos.
Sorry.
200 likes.
250 likes.
250 likes. What are we doing? We're running a Bachelor.
A Bachelor episode.
Who's paying for that?
I mean, who's paying? No. We just find girls that want to be on The Bachelor.
Oh, can you imagine running
Ziggy's our Bachelor?
And Ziggy's our Bachelor.
Can you imagine Ziggy in like a tux, cutting it just like one man, 30 women?
I'd want to see it.
250 likes.
Ziggy,
run it.
I know a few girls who would love to who sign up for you.
For Robert Ziegler is The Bachelor.
Yeah. And
I think we could run. Yeah. Okay. So
people want to hear about football.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about that.
I beg to differ, Ziggy. I beg to differ.
So wait. I'd go about 10K. Jack would go 5K. Zach, you and that similar? Would you, or is this just a waste of money? It's just a huge waste of money.
Jack's 5K.
Oh, you have particular people.
Yeah, you're 10K. Ziggy Ziggy, I'm paying at least $25,000.
$20,000. I would love to see Ziggy on.
I mean, record ratings.
I love seeing you on too. I couldn't imagine like what you would be like.
I'd be a horrendous Bachelor. I'd be the worst. I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, let her back in. Let her back in.
Same. Oh, me too.
I don't know if I should be happy or sad that none of you picked me.
I mean, Zach.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing that I don't need to be on The Bachelor?
Oh, I know. Again, I'm saying to pick someone to go on The Bachelor. Like, I don't know if Jack would be there. We have other friends. I mean, our friend Mike. Mike on The Bachelor would be. That would be what a shit
priceless.
show.
That'd be priceless.
So, like, they're different people, but Zach. I would easily drop a few $1,000s to see you stammering around all these attractive women and trying to figure out like,
Imagine Zach in the rose ceremony,
just holding his rose. I choose.
That dude comes out. This is the final rose tonight. Zach's like, this was a tough decision. And I hate to do this, but Amelia, get the final.
Amelia, you get the final. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Zach. Okay, let's talk some football.
Will you accept this rose, Jane? Of course,
Zach. That'd be awesome to watch.
Let's talk about sports.
So Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, sports.
So Jim Harbaugh talked a little bit about JJ McCarthy following McCarthy's pro day. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but I mean, it was a great pro day. Harbaugh said it was literally the best I've ever seen. Now, again, this episode's a little bit about who's bullshitting and who's not. But Harbaugh said, JJ McCarthy is the best quarterback in this draft. He plays quarterback, the best of all the quarterbacks. He's a winner. And actually, to answer some questions people like Jack might have, McCarthy said, he's incredible. Big market, small market, cold weather, hot weather, any kind of environment, Jack. Jim Harbaugh signing up for JJ McCarthy. So, first off, do you guys think, we'll get into a little further discussion of what this could mean with Justin Herbert, but do you guys think when Harbaugh's saying this, I actually do believe that he thinks he's the best quarterback, but based on complete bias?
I think that, first of all, if you talk about, I think I'm big on him being a cold weather quarterback. I do love that as well. From my Steelers.
You seem like a JJ McCarthy kind of a guy.
I think he's good and he'll have a good NFL career. I think he totally means it when he says he's the best quarterback coming out of this class. To have the best pro day he's ever seen sounds a bit absurd. I mean, he just coached McCarthy for 4 years, won a national championship. Mm-hmm. If I was Harbaugh and McCarthy was my quarterback and I coached the guy for 4 years, went undefeated, won a championship, I'm coming out and saying all the same things.
Yeah.
I mean, the best he's ever seen? That's ridiculous. But the best in this class, I can back the best in this class, but not the best pro day he's ever seen. I think that's absurd.
Okay.
When he coached for 4 years.
The best pro day we've ever seen was 2010 Sam Bradford. I don't know if you remember that, but Sam Bradford's pro day with that injured shoulder, finally recovered, coming out, making every single throw.
People forget the Sam Bradford hype.
These pro days don't mean much of anything, right? Like Zach Wilson, incredible pro day. Like it's so scripted. It's very difficult to tell in pre-combine throwing workouts what's going on. And it didn't change my concerns about McCarthy as a prospect, namely how he is throwing to the left side of the field, particularly the deep left. But no, I mean, I think Harbaugh believes that McCarthy's really good. If he really thought McCarthy was the guy, they might be interested in drafting him. I don't think he thinks that highly. But Harbaugh, I'm sure he feels like he did a good job. He's got a quarterback he trusts, who he knows really well. And naturally, those kinds of things color your judgment. He's not, if you were out here saying like McCarthy's the best quarterback prospect we've ever seen, then the red flags would be up. But he had a good pro day. Yeah, he had a good pro day. And how many pro days did Harbaugh really watch for all his years as a college coach?
It's funny.
I saw, what did he see? Yeah,
I saw an Instagram reel pop up with some of McCarthy's throws. And I mean, we all know, like you mentioned it, Ziggy, the Zach Wilson pro day was unbelievable. I mean, he was making throws on the run downfield. It was unbelievable to watch. And this reel that I saw on Instagram was McCarthy doing everything in the book. And at the top, it just said, Jets fans watching another quarterback have a stud pro day who will probably disappoint. It was just like Michael Scott so I'd be like, no, please, God, no. But that's the next thing it's fun to get into these hypotheticals. Jack and I love these conversations. Ziggy a little bit less in the offseason. But when you talk about all the praise that Harbaugh's giving McCarthy, and you can only start to wonder, like, all right, is there a chance? Is there a slight chance that he could potentially be looking to make a move here and go after his guy? Because, I mean, for everything he's saying, you have to think there's some level of interest. The Chargers are picking 5th in the draft. You could probably get McCarthy there. Maybe you'd have to go up to 4, depending on what you're hearing from other teams. But is there any chance that we could see Justin Herbert, who's making, $53 million almost this season? Is there a chance that we could see Harbaugh trading away Herbert, drafting McCarthy, and then having, let's say he trades with, I don't know, the Vikings, and has picks 11, 23, another first next year, loaded up on draft picks, no huge cap hit for your quarterback, and he gets to build the team his way? It sounds insane, and probably is, but can anyone see it happening?
I mean, the Chargers, they seem about halfway to blowing it up already. No more Keenan Allen, no more Mike Williams.
They're blowing the entire offense.
No more Mike Williams. But we've said countless times, and I see your argument, I see your point. We've said countless times how important it is to have a quarterback. Justin Herbert's one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. And
he's 26, yeah.
Really, there's only, right now, the only bright spot this Chargers team has. And I think it'd be foolish to draft McCarthy and get rid of Justin Herbert. There's no way. He's not going. There's no way.
Yeah. If Harbaugh comes to Dean Spanos, owner of the Chargers, and says, it's time for us to trade Herbert, I really believe in this McCarthy kid, we're going to do great things with him, Harbaugh's getting fired. His contract's getting voided for reason of insanity. And there's absolutely no chance he goes to work in the NFL again. If he actually believes that. I mean, look, McCarthy's he's an interesting prospect, and there's a lot to like about him. But Herbert is already hit as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Guys like that never move. And if they do move, it's near the end of their career for a pile of draft capital after they've already done what they're going to do.
I mean,
Herbert's staying in.
You can't come in your first year in the NFL, get rid of one of the NFL's best, and bring in the quarterback you just coached. There's no way.
I mean, look,
there's a 0% chance it happens.
I think Chargers fans would lose their mind. And I mean, I wouldn't blame them. Justin Herbert is what you dream about getting in the NFL. We always talk about, quarterback. You need quarterback or you can't do anything. But I'm just saying, if Harbaugh loves this kid and can get a load of draft picks and build the roster the way he wants with so many holes in Los Angeles right now, I don't want people to look at this and be like, oh, Paul, you're a moron, because I don't think it'll happen. I think there's like a 2%, 1%, closer to 0 than 1% chance it would happen. But
my credence in this is higher than it was at the start of the offseason.
Yes. Fair enough. So, all right, there we have it on some Herbert. And I do think the Chargers are going to be active, though, in the draft. I can see a trade happening. It might not be Herbert, but I can see them moving back with so many teams interested
they have
in going up. Well, I mean, unless if they fall in love with, like, if Neighbors is there or Harrison could slip. Harrison could slip to 5. It's not crazy to think. If quarterback goes 1 through 4. So Chargers are definitely a team to keep an eye on, though. There's a lot going on out there. Okay, next up. All right, here we go. Brian Daboll, Daniel Jones. This is market right near us, New York City. Well, New Jersey.
Bergen County.
Bergen County.
Same county as us. Sorry, no, we're not actually in Bergen County. We're not in Bergen County.
So Brian Daboll, talking about Daniel Jones, he said, we're excited to have Drew Lock come in. Drew Lock's the backup this year. Or listen, he's going to be the backup this year. He said when Daniel gets back, he'll be the guy. So I want to ask you guys, how confident do you actually think Brian Daboll is in Daniel Jones this season? And do you think the Giants are potentially looking to draft a quarterback? They're at 6, right? I believe they're at 6. Do you think that they have drafting a quarterback on their mind?
The Giants, arguably, if Daniel Jones starts this year with who they currently have on offense, could be the worst offense in the NFL. And obviously, right now, he's a starting quarterback. You paid him so much money. Brian Daboll's not going to come out and talk negatively about him.
So you don't believe him, though? You think he's full?
Yeah, I believe his confidence level in Daniel Jones this year is a 2 out of 10. And he's making it seem like it's a 10 out of 10. And I think it's hard. It's hard to disagree with that. I mean, Daniel Jones, come on.
He's a $40 million
you didn't include the quote that Daboll said. Another quote. He said, "I have full faith in Daniel Jones. Obviously, there were some issues of the offense, but I'm excited that about the impact that another year is going to have on him. We're all very optimistic about Daniel Jones, and we've been communicating with him." That's not what.
It's not promising.
Yeah, that's not what Daboll said about Daniel Jones. That's what Omar Khan said about Kenny Pickett 2.5 weeks ago.
Oh, jeez.
You can't trust this for a second, right? The fact that guys are coming out, I have full faith in them, we're going to get way better. No, you have to say this about the guy who's projected to be a starter, but the Giants will be aggressively interested in trading up. Kenny Pickett and Daniel Jones
are
are
the same thing.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones sticks around, it's not going to be because they're really excited to have him. It's going to be because he's on a big deal and they couldn't move off him. They're waiting until next offseason.
They have the out next year, right? They get like 19.3 something like that million, I believe.
Next year, the salary's not guaranteed, so it's pretty easy for them to move off it. But no, you hear this all the time about bad quarterbacks because the coach doesn't really have anything else they can say. Daniel Jones, nobody thinks he's the long-term option. And after a year where he passed for 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
Well, hold on a second. So I think we're all in agreement here that Daniel Jones will be on the Giants next year and he'll be the starting quarterback heading into the season. And also that it will probably be his last year in New York. Are we all on that page right now?
I would surely hope so.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think they might plan to bench him in the middle. I'm not sure he's going to start the whole season.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah. But heading like we all think Daniel Jones will be the starter going into this year in New York. I think that's pretty reasonable. But we also think that by the end of it, I think Jack's right. When you look at the offense and Devin Singletary, Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt, Darren Waller. I mean, Waller could be good when he's healthy. Wyatt's a young dude. He might be
retiring too.
Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing there. So if we talk about the Giants drafting a quarterback, because apparently they really like Drake May and JJ McCarthy, or there's some talks about them possibly going after McCarthy. I don't think it's a bad move. If New York, let's just say Daboll loves McCarthy, and seems like more and more people are falling in love with JJ. If he's there at 6, which I don't think he will be at this point, but like, would you be anti-McCarthy if you were a Giants fan, or anti-quarterback if you were a Giants fan?
I mean, I just think, and this is a bit in Daniel Jones' defense, I don't think that he's very good. But even if they do draft a quarterback, I think whoever it may be, whoever plays quarterback for the Giants right now in their current state is set up for a disaster.
Oh, yeah, that's the fear.
Yeah. I mean, them getting Drew Lock probably tells me that they're not going to draft somebody, right?
Probably not.
They didn't give up a lot for Drew Lock. And don't forget, Daniel Jones may not be ready to start at the beginning of the season because of the ACL. So they need to get someone who could play at the start of the season if Jones isn't healthy. But when you talk about drafting a quarterback, you think about who's on the board next year, right? Like Shedeur Sanders, Drew Aller, Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers. Like the quarterbacks are not nearly as exciting as they are this year. If I'm a Giants fan, I'd be thrilled if, assuming a guy they like falls or they don't have to give up too much to go up to 4. If there's a guy you like who's available and you take him, give him some time, I think that can make a lot of sense.
I'm starting to think they're more and more likely to take a quarterback, assuming one gets there.
I mean, we know, everybody in the world knows how far Daniel Jones can take the team.
At this point, we all think, but you're also right. If let's say Marvin Harrison or Neighbors is there, like they need weapons too. So if you get Jones a weapon and it doesn't pan out, then you move off him. But if you finally give him some options on offense, I mean, Neighbors would come in and would he be the best receiver Daniel Jones has had? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. He hasn't really.
Was Beckham there when he was a rookie? 2019, probably, right?
No.
I don't think he was.
No, it wasn't at the offseason. He was traded.
Wasn't he on Cleveland?
I can't remember.
No.
Yeah, maybe it was. Geez, that was a long time ago.
I mean, the Giants just haven't had great receivers. I
know.
Whoa. Easy there,
guys.
Toomer.
What?
No. They had Kenny Galladay.
Yeah,
Don't forget about Kenny Galladay.
Oh, shoot. Kenny Galladay, the $84 million man.
Well, did you see John Mara came out and he supported drafting a quarterback? He said, if they fall in love with a QB and believe it's worth the number 6 pick or moving up, he said, I'd certainly support that. They tell me it's the most talented group to come out in years. I mean, Mara, who knows? Mara probably doesn't. I'm sure he has a pulse on what they're doing, but
if he's saying that publicly, that means it's being talked about. But I will say this: if the Giants want to get one of those quarterbacks, they can't sit at 6.
No, they'll have to go up to probably 4.
Yeah, and the good news is the Cardinals will be more willing to trade with them because you're not moving down to like 12 or where are the Broncos picking 15?
Broncos are 12, I think. I think we're at 11. Denver's 12.
Okay, yeah, like 11 or 12. So like that'll be more possible. You won't have to give up as much capital, but there are 3 teams calling the Cardinals on speed dial right now. It's the Giants, it's the Vikings, it's the Broncos.
Yeah, no,
those 3 teams is going to be picking a quarterback at 4.
I mean,
it's going to be a race.
The other side of the coin, though, is like we were just saying, to defend Jones a bit more. he has never really had a good football team around him. And the best team he's had in a while, he took to the divisional round.
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah.
Like, why do you not try to get some other pieces and other positions you really need and see how Daniel Jones plays with those types of guys?
Because I just don't think he's very good.
But,
yeah, I don't think he's good.
But he hasn't really had anybody ever.
No, I understand that argument, and that's why I do think they're going to wind up taking a receiver.
But what's the difference in what Daniel Jones will do with this team versus like what JJ McCarthy would do?
I think
JJ McCarthy's good. He will do better than throw for 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in his 5th year.
Well, I'm also thinking let's say you draft McCarthy.
But do we really know that?
Well, hold on. Let's say you draft McCarthy.
Jones is drafted 6th overall.
No, I get it. But let's say you draft McCarthy, move off of don't play him this year. You play Jones and you play, assuming Daniel wouldn't flip out. Play Jones, play Locke, whoever that needs to be. You get rid of Jones next offseason. You just try and start bringing in people and building up. I mean, that is now you're not operating because with Jones's contract too.
I think Daniel Jones. I don't think he's that good, but I'm just trying to defend him and play the other side of the ball.
It's a fair defense.
Like he was set up for a disaster when he was drafted by the Giants, and anybody who was in his spot would have been the same.
I would like to see the historical hit rate for guys who are terrible for 5 years in a row suddenly turning it around and becoming very good. Because let's not forget that 9-6 season. It's not like Daniel Jones lit the world up. Right, he threw for
that 9-6 magical season,
touchdowns, 5 interceptions. That was his elite magical. This guy's the guy. We're going to give him $80 million season.
I think
Daniel Jones has never been it.
I think
he's
led
difficult. The NFL in fumbles twice.
I think it's difficult when you have no blocking and no receivers for 5 years.
No, it certainly is.
I mean, if this team with Marvin Harrison Jr. is the Giants' best receiver since Odell by a mile.
Yeah, no, he would be.
Could you compare this team to Lamar and the Ravens? Like Lamar's never had anybody.
Well, Lamar. Or you could talk about Tua getting Tyreek or something like. I mean, obviously we're stretching the receivers.
But we also know that Lamar is an MVP level quarterback, and Daniel Jones is not. It's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I believe Daniel Jones could be more average than people think.
No, it's fair to say that Jones hasn't had the weapons, the O-line, or anything really to be a successful quarterback. Try building it around him. We still think he wouldn't. I still think he probably wouldn't be great.
No, I'd agree with you.
But you can't just say Jones sucks without giving him any sort of opportunity. Although I think that's exactly what Ziggy is saying. All right, so Daniel Jones. We'll see. Yeah, it's a tough situation the Giants found
you don't want to be Daniel Jones right now.
You won't be a Giants fan right now. There's a lot going on.
They may go 3-14 this year.
Well, here's the thing. So Ziggy was talking about that race for the number 4 pick. I keep saying I think there's a chance. I actually think a good chance that the Vikings go up to number 3 and try and trade with the New England Patriots. Jerod Mayo came out and said right now the priority for the Patriots is going to be finding a quarterback in round 1. But he said we need to really be in love with this guy. We're not just going to take someone just for the sake of it. And Mel Kiper Jr. recently reported that New England has some issues with Drake May. Mayo came out and addressed that with, he didn't make you think they were in love with Drake May either. He said Drake's had a fantastic interview at the combine, brings a lot of energy, leadership, blah, blah, blah. The ceiling is there. Now, in saying that, when we're trying to put together a roster, I know a lot of people look at the ceiling. You also have to look at how low the floor is. How low is the floor? I'd say a guy like Drake May, he has a lot of room to grow. He's a young guy. Honestly, he hasn't played football nearly as much as the other guys, so definitely something we've looked at. Not exactly glowing endorsement for Drake May from Jerod Mayo. Do you guys believe that New England is not locked into a quarterback at 3? Because a lot of people think that, they're just going to do it. I think they're looking to move the pick.
I think they had to draft a quarterback. There's no more Mac Jones. Who's their quarterback?
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I draft a quarterback at number 3.
I would too.
To me, it's a no-brainer.
But I think if the Vikings come in with a giant offer and they could go back to 11 and don't love Drake May, if let's say it's Drake May there, I think New England's 100% listening right now.
I think that would be foolish. I think one of the 4 best QBs you draft at number 3.
It's never foolish to listen. You might as well see what other teams are willing to give you. But I actually read his quotes very differently. When he said 8 positives about Drake May, he has no ceiling. He's got a leadership ability. He's really exciting, but he's got some room to grow. I take that to be very different than what he said about Jaden Daniels, where he just said, I was on a Zoom with him. I've met him before. Look, his pro day's coming up soon. We're going to head down to LSU. But you have to do your due diligence and talk to scouts, and our guys have seen a lot of bad picks. Like, it's a very different vibe there. But I don't know. I mean, the Patriots don't have another option at quarterback. It's not walking through the door. As we've said, next year's class doesn't look great. There's always another floor. When you have a chance to take a quarterback and you don't have one you can even hope for, right? There's no guy on this roster. It's not like Justin Fields last year where you can hope he grows. There's no guy to be remotely optimistic about. You've got to take the quarterback, I think.
Oh, I'm with you guys. I think they really should do it, but I just have this inkling. I don't know why. And people could just say, you're wrong, Paul, but I think they're going to move out. I think Minnesota's going to go to 3. I really do. I'm not sure. But the other thing with New England is,
the Pats then move back, take another position, and who's their quarterback?
Yeah, I could see them trying to go up for one of the other guys later in round 1 or early in round 2,
or like a Bo Nix, or
maybe or they take someone at 11 and then they'll have the 23rd pick as well.
Milton.
They'll have early second round pick. Milton,
if they seriously feel that there's not much of a difference in a lot of these quarterbacks, 1 to 6 or 1 to 7, then maybe.
I don't think the Patriots would panic and take someone they don't believe in.
I have a question for you guys, though. Isn't this going to be a Daniel Jones situation all over again?
For whom?
For the Patriots. Like, if you think about it, if they draft a quarterback now, who's he throwing to?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was going to go into. We talked about the Giants roster.
Yeah,
New England's
this
got
roster is nothing.
Kendrick Bourne, Demario Douglas, Juju, and Hunter Henry. I mean, that might even be worse.
Probably worse. Yeah, and the number 1 receiver is Juju Smith.
They have Ziggy's guy Ramondre's there, but there's only so much he can do. With I
think you still take
one
of those top 3, top 4 quarterbacks, though.
I can see with the way New England operates, though, that they try and build up this roster a bit and find their guy, as opposed to picking someone. Like, if they love Jaden Daniels, which maybe is the case, they'll take him at 3. But if they're iffy on Drake May and they think, hey, we can load up this team over the next couple of years, get a haul from Minnesota or whoever it may be, and then be in a position to do it. Now, I understand Ziggy's philosophy, just throw darts on the board till you get your guy. I can just see New England operating a little differently.
I mean, it would be such a Patriots thing.
Oh, yeah.
To
fleece us.
Get some, fleece you guys. Build some positions that they really need. Build the team as a whole. And then watch Carson Beck light up the league next year. You take Carson Beck and then he's the quarterback of the future.
I can just see New England operating in that regard.
I mean, it's a really interesting opportunity to see exactly who Jerod Mayo is.
Yeah,
and how he plans to operate. Yeah. Because if they trade down, that he has some continuity with the old Patriots leadership. If he doesn't, it doesn't necessarily mean anything, because taking a quarterback makes a lot of sense. But if he trades down, that certainly tells you something about how he's going to operate. And I don't know, his background, he's a defense guy through and through. He was the guy that Belichick sort of raised to be the successor. If he's internalized some of that, that's definitely something I can see them doing.
Well, it's funny, too, that you kind of get, with all the coaches that need to go up after quarterbacks, you're also going to be able to see, the different approaches and the urgency levels of different organizations. Minnesota, I think Kevin O'Connell is done waiting around now. They have a solid offense. He feels like he can get his guy. The Vikings can be competitive. Denver, Sean Payton doesn't have all the time in the world. He's getting older. I think that's another team. They want a quarterback. Mayo probably feels good about, I probably, my leash isn't that short right now. Not to say that O'Connell or Payton necessarily is, but he probably feels like, I can do this my way. And build it out from there. I'm trying to think of
right.
Daboll might feel pressure to I might need a new quarterback, because if this guy sucks, next guy to fall is probably me.
I mean, this upcoming year, for the short future, there can't be many expectations for Mayo to come in here and make this team what it was.
No.
Whereas if you're Minnesota with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and now Aaron Jones, I guess all you need right now in that offense is a QB. So a deal like that could make sense for both sides.
Well, let's say New England misses too. Let's say they don't love Drake May. They draft May. Now there is some sort of clock that's going where it's like, okay, you were in year 3 of May. Oh, they didn't believe in him to begin with. The building that is. I can just see New England wanting to do it their way and Mayo having the leash to do that. But I mean, we'll see. It all depends. Did you have final? Oh, go ahead, Zach. Sorry.
I also feel like the Patriots had a 20+ year dynasty. Like, I feel like they feel.
You think they're fat cats?
I feel like they feel they could take a couple years to find their guy and go on another 20 years.
I don't think that at all. I think there's a lot of restlessness with how bad the Mac Jones era has been.
I guess you're right.
I'm with Ziggy on this one.
Yeah, Bobby Kraft, he's 82.
Bobby Kraft.
A lot of years left.
Bobby Kraft. No, I think they're.
No, I can tell he was a Steeler fan as a guy who had Big Ben. I'm not saying Big Ben's Tom Brady, but it's a similar type of situation.
Well, that's a side of it we didn't mention.
And now, like, not having you get very restless very easily.
Well, that's the side of it we didn't mention is, Robert Kraft might be the guy to come in and be like, no, like we're swinging right now, because he is getting older, and who knows if they wait 3 years or 2 years to draft. I actually think it would be next year if they were to do something like this, but. Another team with a lot of options, and you're just going to hear more and more coming out of Foxborough over the next few weeks. Okay, a couple more things here before we wrap up. Of course, we always find a way to include some unfortunate Green Bay Packer Jordan Love discussions. But it's kind of customary before our show.
Shocking.
We do a quick little search and it's like, all right, what's Jordan Love up to? Did he say anything?
Well, because he's always up to something ridiculous.
He's always
his mission in life is to make us miserable.
Yeah, he's always up to something that just any football fan would love their quarterback to be up to. First off, a little bit of news. Brian Gutekunst said that they're in the preliminary stages of his contract negotiation. So, for any of the Packers fans who are worried that wasn't going to get done, I'm just joking, but that should.
Yeah, it looks like I was wrong. They're getting ready to hand him the mega deal.
Oh yeah, you have to at this point. But that was a kind of interesting question that Gutekunst was asked. Someone said, like, essentially what the risk level is in giving Jordan Love a deal. Who, again, Love only played really well the second half of the year, and it was really well. It was an unbelievable playoff run for Green Bay. But there's a level of, okay, if we're going to hand this guy, Jordan Love's contract is going to be huge. Whatever he gets, he's going to get top money, and there has to be some level of concern when you're handing that money over, even if it's very tiny. And what Gutekunst said was, the nice thing is having this guy in your building for 4 years. You know exactly who he is. You have comfort that he's all about how his teammates look at him, the organization looks at him. Gutekunst said he's at a lot of peace with this, and it's just another like just head shaking, like pound your head in the wall. Of course now they're confident in their guy who's been here for 4 years, who's the perfect teammate, who's gonna not put any pressure on the organization to get this deal done. I just thought it was a great response from Gutekunst to say, no, we know who this guy is. We're not worried to give him a deal. It's reassuring if you're a Packer fan.
Oh yeah, dynasty's loading.
Shut up.
A dynasty's continuing. You got a young team, a great quarterback. I think he's worth whatever penny that they give him.
Do you have anything to contribute on that, Ziggy? Or
I mean, I'm interested to see what exactly he signs and what Love wants, but
I think it's going to be huge.
Over $50 million, I'm going to be surprised.
No, right now, who's making over 50? You have Hurts at 51, Lamar 52, Herbert almost 53, and Burrow 55. I think Love will get over 50.
I think whatever Love wants is warranted. I think they should give it to him.
Man, now this is our only chance here. Is if they give Love huge contract and he comes back down to earth. That's our only chance. I don't see it coming.
But there's just no reason to think that he's going to stay.
No, there's
with
no
this young receiving core around him too.
And actually, did you guys see what he said on the Pivot podcast when he went on their show and just talking about next season? Very, very disheartening watching all of these Jordan Love clips come out where he said, we're all very hungry for this upcoming year. The confidence from top to bottom is there. The organization believes it's the perfect time to have a chance to win a Super Bowl this year. Those conversations we had after the 49ers game were, man, work harder, try and find ways to get better because next year we're going to do it. I mean, that is that's exactly what you want to hear if you're a Packer fan.
When you feel like you should have played in a Super Bowl this past year, of course.
You can't ask for anything better from your quarterback. We're all hungry for this upcoming year.
Why wouldn't they be? They had the game won in San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
Then they go to Detroit, a team they beat by 30 weeks prior. You're telling me they wouldn't have beaten them?
Well, yeah, and the thing is, it's not just talk. That's what makes this team scary, right? Is Gutekunst agrees and has sort of gone in with this. He's brought in some big free agents, the kinds of guys they're hoping will push them over. This is a feature when Aaron Rodgers was around. There wasn't a lot of communication or unification between the front office and the quarterback. But now that you're seeing sort of a collective vision where everyone's on the same page and doing their thing, it makes it even scarier.
That's the thing is that Gutekunst said we'll be aggressive going after people, and that's exactly what they did with Jacobs, with McKinney. And even though it cost you Aaron Jones, and Packers fans are upset about that, you look top to bottom on the roster, and I don't think you can say the Packers are not improving and putting themselves in a position to legitimately go and compete for, if not win, a Super Bowl. Well, and we keep talking about the NFC, how they're shaping up next season, or how it's shaping up next year. With the moves Green Bay is making, if Love is solid,
I mean, it's
the door's open.
It's just so ridiculous at the beginning. Last year at this time, we're talking about Green Bay. They'll be 3-14 and they're done. Now, 1 year later, here they are.
Oh, we were talking about it.
Go to the Super Bowl.
We were talking about it in October. It wasn't even. It was.
Oh, the Green Bay. That's what you were saying.
Yeah. It was
October. No, yeah.
Well, that's the incredible turnaround of not just the Packers, but the entire NFC North, with except for the Vikings. The Lions turnaround has been pretty unbelievable with Campbell. I think Chicago's going to be solid this year with Caleb. It's a very competitive division, but
we can't get one good thing.
I loved Sports Illustrated had a title for an article that came out, just said Jordan Love understands the assignment, and that could even be the title of our breakout clip. I thought that was really good. Because
quote, Jordan Love understands the assignment.
In Green Bay, the expectation is to win the Super Bowl. And it seems like this team is really bought in. That's why if I could pick a fan base right now that I wish I could be a part of, it would probably be the Packers. Obviously, that will never happen, and I can't stand Green Bay. But if there was one fan base you could choose, it's really fun when you have a homegrown guy who Love really is a homegrown guy, and you can go support this young team who's kind of on the up and up. Doesn't feel like they bought this roster or anything like that. It's a real Packer feel to this team, which just totally sucks.
Maybe next year we'll be in Lambeau.
Oh, we'll be in Lambeau next year. We'll be watching JJ McCarthy light up the scoreboard.
Maybe we'll make an appearance.
It'll be awesome. When Aaron Jones runs in the end zone for his 4th touchdown and he's holding up 4s to Lambeau, the whole crowd's booing. There'll be the 4 of us there, just going crazy.
It'll be like 63-38 Packers.
Well, it'll be you and Ziggy, because me and Jack are not Vikings.
Oh, Jack will probably be rooting for the Packers.
I'll be on the Packers.
Yeah.
I'll be on the Packers minus the points.
Me and Ziggy will be on the Jumbotron high-fiving as Aaron Jones scores his 7th touchdown.
To backdoor.
To backdoor.
To backdoor 24.5.
Okay. Let's see here. So what do you guys think? I probably have to 7:30 we're starting. Should we save mailbag?
Save mailbag.
Yeah, let's save mailbag.
I think that was a pretty good show, right?
Yeah, that was a fine show.
Yeah.
30 seconds. All right.
All right. Let me wrap it up. Let me wrap it up. I'll go in. Okay. All right. So there you have it. A fun who's bullshitting segment. And you guys don't think Jordan Love is bullshitting?
Are we?
I never said he wasn't.
Yeah. Are you bullshitting? Do you believe in Jordan Love, or you just?
No, of course I believe in Jordan Love.
That's the thing. I wish I was bullshitting.
He ain't bullshitting.
I really wish I was.
He ain't bullshitting. Daboll's bullshitting. Harbaugh's bullshitting. And what was the other one? Mayo's. They're all bullshitting besides Love.
You see, I was the opposite. I think, Daboll, yes. Mayo, no.
Harbaugh, like 50-50.
Harbaugh, 50-50, yeah.
50-50 Harbaugh.
He's blinded.
He's biased, but they're fine.
Yeah, that's...
And Ziggy's just never bullshitting, so...
Ziggy.
I'm just so sad that we have to watch this freaking Packers team.
Look, we'll have a mailbag later this week. Sorry, we couldn't get to that today, but we have a lot of questions, and they were pretty good ones in here. So looking forward to answering those on the next show. You all right, Zach?
Yeah,
right over there? You're pounding like Coke Zeros and slamming it on the ground?
Yeah.
Just making sure Zach's okay here. I forgot to mention this at the beginning. March Madness bracket. Thanks for everyone who joined. What do we? I think we ended with 88 people.
Ooh.
It's going really poorly for the Ziggy. What's your bracket? Did you enter a bracket?
I had Baylor winning it all.
Did you have that in?
Yes.
Did you have that in the show's bracket?
I might finish last.
Oh, dude, I don't know. It's.
I'm not doing that much better, right?
Surely there was some pack.
Did you do a bracket, Zach, in that pool or no?
Yeah. Zach didn't enter in our own damn pool.
Where am I? Where am I?
Oh, it's not good, Jack. Jack
am I bad too?
There's 88 people who entered. Jack, you're currently tied for 70th place.
Man.
But you have Iowa State, so
yeah. What am I? One of two people?
There's someone above you who has by 10 points who has Iowa State.
Oh no,
that would be crushing if you gave the pick. I wonder who it is.
I wonder who he has in the final.
And then. I mean, dude, I'm not doing much, but I'm in 65th. Like I am 10 points. I'm one game up. I mean, a horrible The first round could not have gone any worse. But we got some familiar names. I'm looking here towards the top. Let's see here.
Tommy Cassius.
No, I mean, my bracket should be near the top. I had a great first couple rounds, but it's going to get bad fast.
Who's in first?
I don't even see it. We have Dancing Queen, whoever that is, with Purdue. Then we have Lindsay Blacker, our friend down at Auburn. Yeah, there you go. Go Tigers is in second.
Go Auburn.
If she wins the pool, I'm gonna be really pissed
my God,
off.
no way.
That would be horrible. She's got UConn too. So there's a chance with UConn. She's 10 points back. Our friend Mike Leahy, 5th place.
No way.
Leahy's right there.
Who does he have winning it all?
He's got UConn as well. So yeah, it's fun. We're really happy that a bunch of people joined. And we'll have to see. Ziggy, I'm sorry about Oh yeah, Ziggy, is this you? Go Bears?
Yeah, that's me.
Tied for 5th?
Oh, dang, Ziggy.
If only you picked someone reasonable.
Look, in a pool like this, the goal is to win, right? I want that free piece of Paul Farrington merch. I need an I Love Love shirt to complete my collection of Packers gear to burn.
Oh, there we go.
And a ritualistic sacrifice. So, you got to pick an outside team. You're not going to win picking Purdue or whatever.
Unless you're Lindsay. You got to really nail it. Let's see. Yeah, we got a lot of people who entered. Unfortunately, I can't believe, Zach, that you didn't enter our own pool.
That's absurd, Zach.
I didn't enter any pool.
You were running a pool
just for this.
But Zach? Who's your winner if you had to pick?
He would have Baylor.
Yeah, it would have been
Baylor.
Baylor guy.
That was a great comeback. But all right, we'll wrap it up here, and we'll be back with the mailbag.
It would have been FDU too. But FDU wasn't it?
Oh, FDU.
Oh, FDU, yeah.
We are FDU fans. We're FDU. Gosh, what a moment. Oh, all right. We'll be back later this week. It's going to be fun as the draft's getting closer and closer. Jack, good luck to Daisy tonight. By now, we'll know if she won or not.
Oh, we'll know, yeah.
And if she doesn't, maybe on the next show, we could craft a DM to slide in.
Well, if she doesn't, help me with a DM to send her.
Yeah, we could do it on air.
We can tell her you're a host of a major sports podcast.
Yeah.
We're almost at 10,000.
If I landed Daisy,
that'd be huge for the show.
That would be amazing.
And don't forget the 250 likes, and we will do a Ziggy Bachelor.
I don't know how you plan on doing that, Zach, frankly. Do we have the money to do that? Or?
What do you mean? We don't need to pay anybody. We just need to find
let's wrap up the show.
Ziggy Bachelor.
Yeah.
Robert Ziegler is the Bachelor. All right, we'll see you later.